Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show, where readers can discover great new books by indie authors. Your hostess for today's show is Mary Ann Faremouth. We hope you do enjoy today's show.
Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show, a division of Authors Marketing International, an organization that supports writers, authors, and its affiliates all over the world. Tonight, I'm just delighted to have with us an award-winning illustrator. I attended a gathering a few years ago of creatives. There were singer-songwriters, authors, illustrators, painters, and I happened to sit next to this young man. And in talking to him, I knew there was something special about him. He's extremely talented. He's an amazing artist, but he has an eye for design that I think is unlike any other I've ever seen. And after that incredibly long introduction, without further ado, help me welcome Michael Errigo, the award-winning illustrator. Michael, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're so glad to have you. Michael, I know you've done a lot of really cool things, but tell us, how did you get started becoming an illustrator? What was the impetus that got you into this kind of work? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've loved art all my life. You know, I've always kind of been inclined towards it. My dad's an artist on the side, and my grandfather was an artist on the side, and so them two really helped me fall right into it. But I went to school in Grand Rapids and found digital art there, and just have been primarily working digitally from that point on. And yeah, just freelancing for now, you know, just applying here and there, but working on my own projects also. But yeah.
Well, I know you've worked for some pretty big heavy hitters. I know that you've done design work from some people that were affiliated with Disney and done all kinds of neat things. Tell us about I think you worked on a trilogy series that is very famous and popular. Did all the layout and design for that. Tell us a little bit about that, Michael.
Yeah, I did the cover designs for the trilogy, the Dream trilogy by Robert Krakoff. His author name is R.M. Krakoff. I have them here. I don't know if everybody's watching or just listening, but
yeah, both. That's so great.
There's the first one there, Dream Hackers. There's the second one, Robot Dreams. And the third one is Deadly Dreams.
And I think your name is even on there as the illustrator, isn't it? In the book?
Yeah, it's not on the front cover on these ones, but it is on the other one that I worked with.
Yeah, that one.
Author. Yeah, so my name's on that one.
Yeah, and I think he's pretty well known and highly acclaimed and gotten some big time awards. But you know, as we all know as authors, you know, what's that old saying? The cover's everything. Okay. I don't believe that old saying you can't judge a book by its cover, because if the cover's not good, you're not going to pick it up. So I think that having the right cover, and especially right now, your covers are so technology oriented, aren't they? Kind of high tech. And I think that kind of gets people curious to want to pick them up. Don't you agree?
Sure. Yeah. Anything sci-fi or fantasy or anything. Yeah, I'm all about it. This one, I just wanted to mention this one. I did the cover for. Excuse me. I also illustrated the inside. I was just gonna flip through it. I don't know if.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think that's great. And I think now, you know, especially the last couple of years, I think more and more books have come out. And you know, I think we wanted to have you on the show today because people need to know about people like you, because you have a rare talent. And you know, when you put all that time into writing a book and you want to present it right, you want to present it in a way that is going to get noticed. I think having someone that's a good illustrator, good cover designer makes all the difference. Tell us a little bit about some of the things you've designed. Now, do you design? Are you only a sci-fi kind of a illustrator, or what kind of genres do you illustrate for?
I'm definitely capable of doing pretty much anything and everything. I enjoy sci-fi the most, I think, but I'm all for any, I've done all types of different stuff, so
Uh-huh.
I'm
And I
pretty
think you
open.
have another ability too. If somebody sends you a photograph, I think you can do something digitally to produce it in a way that it looks almost like a painting, or like a watercolor. Isn't that something else you do too?
I've experimented with that a little bit. It's not something I do per se, but yeah, I work off of photographs a bunch. I do traditional work as well, so I do color pencil drawings or acrylic paintings, and I do like pet portraits or
Okay. Okay.
figures or anything.
All right. Well, I know that you did enter a contest that was a contest had an affiliate or had to do with Authors Marketing International. It was a poster contest, and I know there was extreme competition in that. Didn't you win that contest?
I did, yeah.
Tell us about that. Tell us about that. I mean, that shows you all the neat things we do here at Authors International. We have all kinds of wonderful contests and different things, but tell us about that one that you did.
Yeah, that was fun. They wanted writers, artists, and musicians included, as well as a little bit of Texas pride. Um, all that combined together for an image, and I don't have it printed out to show you guys, but it'll be up and running next year for the festival. But yeah, that was fun, and I was thrilled that I won. I did not see that coming. So
Well,
yeah.
that's wonderful. Well, I'm not surprised that you won because you are so talented, and I certainly hope you get more involved with our organization because I think, we have some wonderful, wonderful events, and hopefully this year, hopefully we'll have more in-person events, and you can join
Yeah.
us. But I know you've worked on lots of different projects and illustrations and all that. Is that something that you want to continue to do, or do you have more up your sleeve to do, or what do you think? What do you think you want to do going forward?
Yeah, I'm always working on personal work, just random paintings or whatever. My passion project right now is my first graphic novel that I wrote myself, and I'm going to illustrate and do the cover and everything myself. That's called Galaxavier, and that's I'm going to be launching a Kickstarter for that soon, within the next couple months. So
Is
keep
there
your
a,
eyes out for that.
well, that's wonderful. Is there a theme? What kind of a theme, or is there a story, or what is it about?
Yeah, it's they are basically guardians over planets, and in this story, the planets are alive, and the Galaxaviers look over these planets like the planets are their children. So, keep them from overheating or freezing over, or falling out of orbit, or colliding with another planet or anything like that. So it's just stuff like that's going on, and there's some interesting characters and some awesome imagery I'm working on to promote it. So that'll be all out there for everybody to see soon.
Okay. Well, we just got a couple minutes left here, but as a recruiter, I know that I do a lot of research and study about the careers that are going to be in demand in the future. And illustration, people that are in that industry is very high demand. Do you have any interest in doing any work for corporations if they would need a newsletter, or somebody that needs a corporate handbook and they want the cover done? I mean, do you have any interest or any ability to do things like that as well?
Yeah, I'll say, I'll just keep it broad. Anything with imagery included, I can pretty much tackle. So anything, whether that's promoting something or the book covers or illustration or getting an idea down on paper, I can sketch something down quick or make something from a bizarre idea. I've done it hundreds of times, so
Okay.
nothing surprises me anymore. So
Well, I will say I've referred Michael to several people, and the people that he's worked for have come back to me and told me not only is he extremely creative and talented, but he's also a great guy to work with. He's customer oriented and wonderful. So let's take a break right now, let our
thank
sponsors
you.
do their thing, and we'll come right back.
Welcome to B4R.store, a bookstore for indie readers and indie authors, where indie authors can earn their fair share from the books you purchase. We have a wide variety of genres that you can select from. We also have ebooks and paperbacks. You can select authors by their first names, and we also have music. If you're interested in their city or country, we have that listed as well. If you are an author and would like to be on our bookstore, we have 3 options for you. There is a small minimal charge, or you can join our organization at authorsmarketing.org and learn how to better market and sell yourself. That is B4R.store, a bookstore for indie readers and indie authors.
Hi, I'm Charles Brakefield.
And I'm Rox Berkey.
Together, we write as Brakefield and Berkey.
Our techno thriller series is 12 books strong, with book 13, The Enigma Tracer, planned for 2022.
Techno thrillers are the cyber good guys versus today's darknet thugs.
We added our series prelude, Out of Poland, a 1939 historical novella, in 2021.
We also have 8 short stories available in family and women's contemporary genres, with more planned for 2022.
Please visit our website, enigmaseries.com, to learn more about why we say technology is today's weapon of choice. Thank you.
Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show, where readers can discover great new books by indie authors. Your hostess for today's show is Mary Ann Faremouth. We hope you do enjoy today's show.
Welcome back to the Indie Beacon Show, a division of Authors Marketing International, organization that supports authors, writers, and its affiliates all over the world. Today, we have the distinct honor and pleasure to be speaking to Michael Errigo, an award-winning illustrator. He was talking about all the different things he does and the new book he has coming out. But I wanted to ask you, Michael, I know you've had some special training that I think goes above and beyond. That probably helps you become, even more cutting edge than most illustrators are. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I went to school in Grand Rapids at Kendall College of Art and Design. It's Ferris State University's kind of little brother school, but it is an art school, of course. And I was there for 3 years and graduated in 2016. I went there for illustration, so that's my foundation there.
Okay, but haven't you also done some things on your own? Some special kind of classes you've taken or worked with some special design? I thought.
I think you're referring to the mentorship I attended. I think a couple years ago now. Yeah, it was to learn more about 3D art, and it's something I haven't really gotten back to yet, but it was definitely an eye opener for me. Yeah, those are just programs I still would like to learn more about, but Blender and Unreal Engine and all that stuff.
Okay. Now, do you make yourself known to people by becoming associated with, being a member of Authors Marketing International certainly would give you some promotability, but what do you do to let people know about your talent? I mean, how do you advertise yourself? I know, for artists it's a little different than for other people, but what do you do to get yourself out there?
I use all social media, really just to promote myself and try to get freelance jobs. Hopefully, you hope one job leads into another. That's happened a few times, if you leave the right impression. Yeah, I got my work. You can see my work on artstation.com. And all my handle across the board is Art Official Treasures, but it's Art Official _ treasures. But yeah, just posting and just word of mouth stuff, just trying to get your stuff out there. I had an art show recently that kind of helped.
How'd that go? Tell us about that. Was that an online art show? Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was an in-person show. It was in Detroit, Michigan, at a little, smoothie shop, but they got food and stuff. But yeah, It was a great time. Made a lot of connections and made some sales. So I'm hoping to do a lot more of that in the future. I think that would help as well.
Okay. Well, I know I've talked to people at, Houston Writers Guild and different affiliations that I'm involved with, and they all really enjoyed talking with you. So I think, I think with any kind of artist, people have to know about you and know that you're out there. And I think that, that's the hardest thing sometimes for us to do. We can, we can write, we can design, we can illustrate, but it's after we do all that great stuff, then how do we get people to know about us? And I think, things like this and being involved in conventions and art shows and things like that are great. Now, do you work with any other artists? I mean, do you take any ongoing classes or work with any other artistic endeavors to keep your craft kind of cutting edge? Or how do you keep getting all your cool ideas? I mean, where do they come from?
I'm a huge movie buff, so again, anything sci-fi is just I love it already. I've collabed with some artists. The author of the trilogy set I did and the graphic novel is an artist who worked at Disney. So that was, that's a different process working with another artist rather than, just a non-artist client. It's just seems to be a lot more thorough across the board,
So for somebody who wants to be an illustrator, thinking about becoming an illustrator, what would you tell them the pros and cons of it are? I mean, I would think it would be a pretty competitive field. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hard to find work at times for sure. I would just recommend talking to anybody and everybody that you can, and picking their brain, and you got to put the work in, for the craft, of course, but yeah, learn more about promoting yourself and networking, and for sure, Mary Ann here has a wonderful book about that. I'm sorry, it's recruiting.
Revolutionary recruiting.
Revolutionary
That's
recruiting,
okay.
yeah.
You don't have to promote me, sweetie, today. That's so sweet of you to do that. But that's the kind of guy this is, okay? He's the kind of guy that always wants to help others. And I think that, along with this amazing talent that he has, how great to work with someone that is going to go the extra mile for you. And I think that, all of us, from what I've heard anyway, from clients, from applicants, from other recruiters, it's about relationships right now. It's about, yes, talent's important. Yes, having someone that's outstanding in their field is important. But at the same time, you got to like the person. You got to like who you're working with. You got to have those relationships. And I think if you can have that all packaged into one area, how cool is that? Now, there's other things too that I've known that you're involved with as far as your illustration. Now, don't you also do logos and things like that? I mean, you can do designs. I mean, if somebody says, I need a logo for my company, I'm thinking of something really cool that's kind of new age or something like that. Couldn't you come up with an idea for that too?
Yeah, I'm actually currently working on a logo, and I've done several in the past for sure. So I'm definitely capable of logos and rebranding, business cards and stuff like that.
Okay, all right. And what
It's not
about
my focus, but yeah.
Okay, what about like website things? Can you do that too? I mean, do you do like website?
No, I haven't done much website design.
All right, but I think branding and logos, that's real important. I mean, I think that, when you have a logo that somehow is your signature, So
Yeah.
if you have someone that can do that, and so when somebody comes to you and they have an idea and they say, I want a logo, what's the process you go through to kind of find out how to do it that really fits them or in alignment with what they do? How do you come up with that, Mike?
It starts with a conversation and, figuring out what they want, what their ideas are. I mean, that varies from client to client. Some already know what they want. Some have no idea. So you just kind of narrow it down and, take the idea and put it on paper and then adjust and fix it up and do what you got to do.
Okay. Now let me ask you this too. When you do these illustrations, do you have to do any kind of writing with that, or is that something somebody else does? I mean, if you do an illustration of a story and it doesn't, under the illustration, do you ever put anything that goes along with the story over here in the writing area, or is that something that the writer, the author has to do?
I think most of the social media platforms nowadays kind of promote that with the caption ability, right?
Yeah.
I tend to usually name my personal pieces. But other than that, I just usually describe what it's being used for and what maybe, some inspirations or something like that with it.
So if I came to you and said, Michael, I'm thinking about writing this fantasy book. It's about magic. It's about this guy that lost his job and he found out that the real magic he had was inside of himself. Can you design a cover for me? And this is a true story because I wrote a short story about this. And I'm thinking about maybe expanding that short story and making it into a book. So if I came to you with that and I said that to you, could you come up with some ideas for me for a cover?
Absolutely. I've already got a few going.
Okay, well, that's great. That's great. And I think that, I think a lot of people right now are writing more. And I think with this new variant, and there's some, uncertainty right now and some, more hybrid work where people are working at home, they're working, the office, but there's not as much socialization. So there's going to be more things that we do at home. And I think writing and book design and all that's going to be a front and center. So your skills are going to be probably more in demand. So we got about a minute left here, but
Okay.
if somebody came to you and they said, I have an idea, but I just don't know what I want to do, and I'm not sure, do you kind of go through it with them and talk it through so that you can kind of help them formalize an idea, or do you tell them, well, you got to think about it and then come back?
Yeah, no, sure. I mean, whatever it takes, I'd like to think that I can help people, get their ideas out, but I think really just putting it down on paper really helps to just start the process, and you can always just adjust from there, but just dive in and then make the changes you got to do.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a break here and let our sponsors do their thing, and we'll come right back.
Each and every one of us has a mission in life. Mine is to help people laugh through the good times and the bad. My name is Charlotte Canyon, and I'm an author, a speaker, and a host on Indie Beacon Radio. If you need me to speak at an event or autograph my book, you can contact me at charlotte@charlottecanyon.com. Thank you, and have a blessed day.
Authors Marketing International, a membership-based organization where members learn how to better market and sell themselves. Join us at authorsmarketing.org.
Mary Ann Faremouth is a career consultant with 30 years' experience in the national recruiting world, a multi-award-winning author in multi-genres, and a speaker that gives presentations to help you succeed. Her book, Revolutionary Recruiting, made the top 20 global list of recruiting books. Find her on Amazon, your favorite bookstore, or at fairmouth.com.
Welcome to the Indie Beacon Show, where readers can discover great new books by indie authors. Your hostess for today's show is Mary Ann Faremouth. We hope you do enjoy today's show.
Welcome back to the Indie Beacon Show, a division of Authors Marketing International, an organization that supports authors, writers, and its affiliates all over the world. My name is Mary Ann Faremouth. I'm a multi-genre author. And today I have the distinct pleasure and honor to be talking with Michael Errigo. I met Michael a few years ago at a gathering of creatives, and I sat next to him, and the rest is history. I was so impressed with this young man, and I've watched him on his journey. He's continued to grow and expand and do some wonderful, amazing things. And he agreed to come on the show today and let everybody know about this wonderful talent. We were just talking, you can write the greatest book in the world and you can have wonderful content, but if you don't have the right illustrations, you don't have the right cover, you don't have the right design, nobody's going to pick it up. And so people like Michael Errigo are of paramount importance in the process. And I wanted to have him on the show today for all of my friends and authors and writers and essay people all over the world to know about someone that is so talented. But more than that, he's just a nice young man. He's customer oriented, he's caring, he wants to please, he wants to do the right thing for the customer. And I think that in these times, we're all looking for that. So Michael, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, if somebody wants to find you now, this is going to be on several podcast shows and people listen to us all the time, so they might be driving, but give us your contact info, how they can get a hold of you.
Sure. You can my online portfolio is on ArtStation. You can find that by searching my first and last name, Michael Errigo, which is Errigo. I'm on Instagram, which is primarily what I use. And my tag on there is artofficial_treasures. And, you can find me on there with my name as well, I'm sure.
Okay.
You could email me for any inquiries at m.errigo@yahoo.com. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Well, you'll also, if you haven't caught that, you've caught that. I have all this information on my website, which is faremouth.com. So if you need to get a hold of Michael, it'll all be on there. But as a multi-genre author myself, I know that this illustration genre, things that he does for different genres, is so important. And again, I've referred him to many people that I know that have very, very high standards, and they all come back to me and say, wow, he's amazing. He's so talented, but he's so great to work with. So going forward, I think all of us now are looking to become more artistic, looking to become expressive and do something, maybe to make a contribution or to express ourselves or to do something that is for the greater good or something that people can enjoy. If you want to produce something like that and you need that partner with you to make it absolutely amazing as far as the presentation of it, give Michael Errigo a call. Michael is someone that I just think so highly of. I know his dad. I knew his granddad. He comes from wonderful people, and they're all creative and they're all very artistic. And I just think the world of him. I'm glad to know him, and I'll do anything to promote this kid. So Michael, if somebody's out there thinking about, I'm thinking I want to be an illustrator, but I'm not sure I can do it, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, follow your heart, of course, but just do what you enjoy, and if you can make some money with it, then go for it. But by any means, don't ever jump into art trying to make money as the reason. Enjoy the art making process, and I think you'll be all right.
Okay, all right. Well, I think that you're a true example of a success, of someone who's a hard worker, who's used his craft to really promote others. And as a result of that, he's an award-winning illustrator. So anyway, we thank you for taking the time to come on our show. I think the world of you. I'll do anything I can to promote you. We hope you stay in touch with Authors Marketing International and work with all the different artists and creatives and writers and authors we have on our platform. And again, we've had the delight tonight to talk to Michael Errigo. You can find him on, what is that site again, Michael? One more time.
It's on artstation.com. You can find me by my first and last name on there.
Okay, artstation.com. And again, this is Authors Marketing International. I'm Mary Ann Faremouth, and we thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the Indie Beacon Show, produced by B. Allen Bourgeois for the Authors Marketing International, LLC. Copyright 2022. Voiceover by B. Allen Bourgeois. If you would like to be a sponsor of the show, please contact us at authorsmarketing@outlook.com. If you would like to be on this show, it is free to authors. Simply fill out the form at indiebeacon.com. The music is provided by Happy Follows. The music is entitled